Hello dear friends. Today I'd like to talk to you about regret. What is regret? What are emotions? Do we need them? Do we have to have them? What are they? Is regret important? I will talk through the fact that I think regret is very necessary, very important, and it's a valuable teacher to have, and that there's no avoiding regret. We'll start off with the definition. So the Macquarie Pocket Dictionary tells us that regret is to feel sorry about. It is to think of with a sense of loss, like they regret their vanished youth. It's a sense of loss, disappointment, dissatisfaction, a feeling of being sorry for some fault or act of one's own, feeling of sorrow over what is lost, gone, done. Look, I think we all know what regret is and we've all experienced it, but it's just good to have some sort of dictionary definition there as well. So regret, as far as emotions go, it's a pretty heavy one. I don't think anyone sort of wakes up and is like, oh, I hope I feel some regret today, let me at it. I don't think so. But that's not really how emotions work, is it? We don't really control emotions. They come when they come, and when they come, there's no denying them. After much contemplation, I have formed the view that my emotions are my strongest teachers. They're my strongest truthful teachers because they rely on nothing but me. It's all coming from within. It's not anything else. And there's a big difference between a feeling, an emotion, and a truth and a thought. Because our feelings, our emotions, they're true. And then our thoughts should not be trusted. Our thoughts need to be questioned. And you question your thoughts enough, keep questioning, and then you're going to get back to feelings, because that's at the core of who we are. But that's not to say that all feelings should be trusted when they arise, because the purity of the feeling depends on the state of our inner world. Like I can think back onto a time when I had a lot more noise in my inner world, and the feelings that I was thinking I was having was very surface level. And even though I was like introspective and insightful, like it still wasn't like the pure really feeling there, because there's just too many thoughts clouding it. I wouldn't let that feeling just blossom on its own in its natural state. So these teachers, like when we're feeling happy, it's a good thing. When we feel happy, like I think it's a nice feeling. Yeah, we all sort of like that. And it tells us, it's like, oh, I like doing this. This feels good. I want more of this. So that's just teaching us our truth. And it's the same with regret. The regret's just as important as the happiness. It shows us what matters to us. It also shows us who we want to be and who we don't want to be. Like if you think about some common examples of regret, just like, oh, I really wish I didn't say that silly thing in that conversation with a colleague the other day. You know, those moments, they're not fun. We've all had them. It's just like, oh, I put my foot in my mouth that time. And it's just like, why does it feel like that? And making sure we're separating the feelings and the thoughts. And it feels like that, I guess, because we want our colleagues to think that we're competent or interesting or intelligent. It's showing us who we want to be. And it's the same when we don't say something, and it's just like we really wanted to talk to that person, you know, that missed opportunity of trying to talk to someone. And it's just like, oh, I want to be the person that can have that conversation, that can approach them confidently and say what's on my mind or what's in my heart. And so that, again, it shows us who we want to be. And I think that's important. We learn from our mistakes as well as from our triumphs. The regret's a guide saying, come on, follow me. I'll tell you what you need to hear. It may not be kind, it may not be easy, but it will be for our benefit. Everything within is. So I'll share some of my regret with you. The weight of my body has fluctuated greatly during this birth. for a while there, after my father and brother passed, it did nothing but go up. This coincided with me commencing office work as well. So there's a few factors at play. But during like a 10-year period, my body just put on more and more weight. Sometimes I'd hold it steady, but it kept growing, and it blew out to 90 kilos. I'm pretty short, and so that was a lot, so a bit over 90 kilos. And I'm regretful that I allowed it to happen. I'm regretful that I didn't prioritize my health and well-being. Like, now that I've lost a good 25 kilos thereabouts, I remember this feels better, this feels healthier and lighter, and this is much more of the right state for my body. And it's not a societal thing, it's because I feel it. It's because I feel the healthiness of this body. And I know I can still lose some more weight, and I will, but there's no pressure on it. It's not an aesthetics thing. It's not a vanity thing, it's a health thing. My body tells me when it's too heavy or it's too light. And for all those years, I just couldn't listen. I wasn't listening. And during that time, I judged and shamed myself a lot for allowing my body to get to that state. I judged by my food choices and my lack of exercise, and I just wouldn't like what I saw when I looked in the mirror. 10 years. We're not talking about a short time frame here. It was pretty hard, and I regret that I chose that, because I chose that every day that I couldn't make better food choices, every day that I couldn't make better exercise choices. I was choosing it. I'm regretful. I'm regretful that I allowed that to happen. Because for that decade that I was living inside that body, it was more suffering than I needed to live in. And I'm the one that chose it. No one did it. No one did it to me. These are the choices. This is the culmination of the choices that I was making every day. That I couldn't eat just a little less food, or I couldn't choose a bit more nutrition, or I couldn't just be a bit more active. Or a big one for me, drink a little less alcohol and have a few less hangover days. Because that was a big problem for me. It contributed to the state of my body. But it was stress from work, it was childhood trauma that I hadn't resolved. It was a lot that I was carrying. It wasn't just weight, it was all of these things. I regret that I lived through that unnecessarily. I could have chosen differently at any point and lessened it, like I have chosen for the last couple of years. I'm also grateful for that regret that comes. It shows me who I want to be and who I don't want to be. I don't want to be that person that's so out of touch with their body again, that they let it get to such an unhealthy state. It wasn't good for me. It wasn't good for my mind. It wasn't good for my body. My soul was fine, but our souls are always fine, but I was suffocating with all the darkness that I was carrying, so I wasn't making space for that soul to rise in that state, because I had such unhappiness, because I was unhealthy, and it showed with my body. So that regret tells me, try not to do that again. Won't make you any less lovable if you do happen to do that, but just try not to, because you feel better when you have less weight on. When I say you, it's me talking to me, not me talking to you. So I know from my human experience, I feel much better when my body is more in this state or lighter. I've had lots of different weights, and this feels better. That's me following the feelings, not listening to my thoughts, just following the truth of my feelings. The regret comes and goes. That's what emotions are supposed to do. They're not supposed to be held. They come, they teach us, and then they go. I'm not going to live in a state of regret. Why would I? I feel fantastic. My body's in great shape, and I feel good. So I'm not going to dwell or wallow in that. I'm not going to hold on to that regret. And I'm also not going to be scared of it happening again, sort of out of nowhere, because those were a succession of choices made over a long period of time. So emotions are our teachers. Regret shows us what's important to us, who we want to be and who we don't want to be. And there's no avoiding regret. There's no avoiding any emotion. We need to feel them all. we refuse to feel some emotions, we're refusing to feel all of them because we're numbing it. I'm not in the business of numbing anymore. I want to feel alive. This fullness of life is better. So my regret's welcome at the table. I hope you got something out of this video. Thanks very much for watching. Till next time, happy journeying.